I'm now going to turn to Edward, and Edward, you are a pastor in the Seventh-day Adventist Church,
Sure.
And you're seeing all these things that are happening, and what would you say is the Adventist thought on this particular issue? What is the Seventh-day Adventist view on what is happening now with miracles and all this?
Thank you, Lukau.
And how has been your experience? I understand that there's a man, a prophet in Zimbabwe called Magaya, who claims to have found an HIV cure.
Aguma.
Can you tell us a little bit about that, and then you share your thoughts?
Okay. The Aguma, it's called the Aguma. The medication he calls it the Aguma, and the most recent experience that I've had when I was following this issue is the issue is within the courts, and the Medical Association of Zimbabwe is distanced itself from the Aguma issue. They were saying he did not follow protocol. He was supposed to have come through us, like what he was saying, so that we could at least ratify and confirm that this should help people. But unfortunately, a lot of protocols were violated, and no one seems to be coming to his side now, seeing that the issue has taken its toll, and everyone else wants an answer to that. So it's so unfortunate for him. I personally do not have kind words for him because of maybe what I would want to say here. Coming back to your initial question, in the context of Adventism and what the Bible has to say about miracles and what transpired in South Africa and elsewhere, even in our own country, in Zimbabwe, we also have got a lot of funny things going on. Now, allow me first to take us back to Scripture. And I would want to highlight the biblical parameters within which miracles are supposed to happen. And when you look at Christ's words in Mark chapter 16, his parting orders, the Great Commission, Mark 16, verse 15, 16, and 17. Verse 15, he says, "Go ye therefore and preach the gospel to all creation." Okay? Go ye therefore and preach the gospel to all creation. Verse 16, "He who believes and is baptized shall be saved, but he who does not believe will be condemned." All right. Verse 17. "These signs will follow those who believe." Now, this is where I would want us to draw some, parameters here. The imperative, the command by Jesus Christ was not go ye therefore and perform miracles. The command was go ye therefore and preach the gospel. And within the context of going to preach the gospel, he then says, these signs will accompany those who will go to preach the gospel. The term that is translated accompany there in the original language, I'll spoil you a bit, is parakolotheo. Parakolotheo, which means they will follow closely. They will come after you. They will be with you. Now, the problem we are having today is that we have a lot of religious people and Christians who have taken allow me to, violate this language a bit, the accompana to be the major imperative. But Christ says, go and preach the gospel. As you go to preach the gospel, I know as Christ that you are going to meet a lot of different situations. When you're reading even verse 18, it says, you will even pick snakes and they won't bite you. You will drink poison, but you will not die. Christ was not saying, go and drink poison. That's not the imperative. Go and preach the gospel. But as you go out to preach the gospel, perchance, by accident, you take a bottle thinking it's water, but it's poison actually, or maybe someone was spraying some rats or cockroaches somewhere, and you are thirsty because you have been preaching, and you realize, oh, this is not water. Within the context of having answered to the imperative of going to preach, then God says, I will intervene. I will intervene. So, in that case, I cannot put a billboard along N1 there to say, next week I'll be drinking poison. Because that is not the imperative. The imperative is go and preach. I would rather put a billboard, come and listen to the good news of salvation. And if people come from all over Gauteng to listen to the gospel, because they are coming from all over, then maybe someone is demon possessed. The the miracle of exorcising demons at that particular preaching session will accompany me. But it doesn't follow that Madzorera is always accompanied by the miracle of exorcising demons. Because maybe in the audience there is no one with a demon. So I cannot advertise, I will be exorcising demons. No. I can't do that.